Welcome to all devotees. We will start today's Bhagavatam class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tata Jayam Udirayat Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavasevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Today we continuing chapter 4, shloka number 3 and 4. Kasmin yuge pravruta iyam.
Kasmin yuge pravrittiyam.
Pravrutta iyam sthane hetuna. Kuta sanchodita Krishna.
Kuta sanchodita Krishna.
Krutavan Sahitam Munihi.
Krutavan samhitam munihi.
Tasya putraha Mahayogi.
Tasya putra Mahayogi.
Tasya putraha Mahayogi.
Tasya putra Mahayogi.
Samadruka nirvikalpakaha.
Samadruna nirvikalpakaha.
Ekantam atihi. Ekantamatihi unidra. Undidra. Gudha mudha iva iyate.
Gudha mudha iyate.
Kasmin yuge pravrutta iyam.
Kasmin yuge pravrityam.
Thaneva kena hetuna. Kuta sanchodita Krishna. Krutavana sahitam munihi. Tasya putraha Mahayogi. Samadruka nirvikalpakaha. Ekantamati unidraha. Gudha mudha iva iyate. Fifth shloka also taking.
No, Mataji.
Yes. Translate. Please recite.
Kasmin yuge pravruttayam sthane vakeන hetuna kuta sanchoditah Krishna krutvana sanhitam munihi tasya putrah Mahayogi samadruka nirvikalpakah ekantamatihi unnidroh gudha mudha iva iyate.
Prabhuji, please read. Poonam Mataji, please read.
Namaste. Kashmin juge probiteyang sthane vakena hetuna uta sanchoditah Krishna pitobano shahitang munihi tasya putro mahayogi samudrung nirvikalpakaha ekantomoti dunitra guru or
Mataji, please read.
Yes, Mataji. Kasmin yuge uteyam sthane vakena hetuna kutah sanchoditah Krishna krutavan samhitam munihi tasya putro Mahayogi samadrina nirvikalpakaha एकांतमतिरुन्निद्रो गुढो मूढ इवेयते.
Sridhar Prabhuji read.
என்னம்மா கொஞ்சம் வெயிட் பண்ணு.
Sridhar Prabhuji
हरे कृष्ण
read.
कस्मिन् युगे प्रवृत्त्यायं स्तुते वाकेन हेतुना कुते संतोषित कृष्ण कृतव्यं समदीयं मुनिः तस्य पुत्रो महायोगी निर्वाप्रगा एकांतमन्दिरनिद्रो कुतो मुद्दा इवेतित.
डॉक्टर
हरे
कल्पा
कृष्ण.
गवली माता जी.
यस प्रभुजी. तस्मिन् युगे प्रवृत्तियां स्थाने वाकेन हेतुना कुता संचोदिता कृष्णाः कृतवान् संहिता मुनिः तस्य पुत्रो महायोगी समदर्निर्विकल्पः एकान्तमदिरुन्निद्रो बुद्धो मूढ इवीयति. हरे कृष्ण. थैंक यू माता.
Gudha Mudha Ivayate. Kasmin Yuge Pravrutta Yam Sthaneva Kena Hetuna Kuta Sanchodita Krishna Krutavana Sanhitam Munihi Tasya Putra Mahayogi Samadruka Nirvikalpaka Ekantamati Unnidra Gudha Mudha Ivayate. Translation and translation Śrīla Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. In what period and at what place was this first begun, and why was this taken up? From where did Krishna Vyas, the great sage, get the inspiration to compile this literature? His Vyasadev's son was a great devotee, an equibalanced monist whose mind was always concentrated in monism. He was transcendental to mundane activities, but being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. Purport by the Śrīla Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the special contribution of Śrīla Vyāsadeva. There are so many inquiries by the learned Shaunak Muni. It was known to them that Śrīla Vyāsadeva had already explained the text of the Vedas in various ways up to the Mahābhārata for the understanding of less intelligent women, śūdras, and fallen members of the family of wise-born men. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is transcendental to all of them because it has nothing to do with anything mundane. So the inquiries are very intelligent and relevant. Srila Shukdev Goswami was a liberated soul, and thus he remained always alert not to be trapped by the illusory energy. In the Bhagavad Gita, this alertness is very lucidly explained. The liberated soul and the conditioned soul have different engagements. The liberated soul is always engaged in the progressive path of spiritual attainment, which is something like a dream for the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul cannot imagine the actual engagements of the liberated soul, while the conditioned soul thus dreams about spiritual engagement. The liberated soul is awake. Similarly, the engagement of conditioned soul appears to be a dream for the liberated soul. A conditioned soul and a liberated soul may apparently be on the same platform, but factually they are differently engaged and their attention is always alert, either in sense enjoyment or in self-realization. The conditioned soul is absorbed in matter, whereas the liberated soul is completely indifferent to matter. This difference is explained as follows. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuh Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtan Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो पदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूत श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। पुनश्च once I am doing pranam, please accept in shloka number 3 and 4 which are describing that we are understanding, we try to understand what there is described. In shloka number 3 they describe about the Bhagavatam, which period, which place, and which reason, and whose inspiration Vyāsadeva compiled this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And in shloka number 4 they describing few qualities of Shukdev Goswami. He was a great devotee, balanced, moist, and concentrated in transcendental concentrated in monism and transcendental to mundane activities, and due to the unexpressed appearance, he appears like a ignorant. Who Shukdev Goswami. And these points are describing in two shloka. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. So here we are seeing very intelligent questions, and in fact, we'll must understand what the question has to be like, because generally people keep on asking me this, that, but what can be an intelligent question? That becomes the point of understanding. Like for a child who wants to demand something, he would keep on fighting, he would keep on creating ruckus to the parents. The parents would not like to see the child in trouble, and so they will fulfill the desire. So while there was Lalan in the first 5 years, after 5 years to 12 years, when it should have been done, and they continue to give whatever the child asks. And the child learns that if I do this Tandav dance, then I'll get whatever I want. So they don't change. With age, with intelligence, with knowledge, it only reinforces the wrong habits. And they keep on asking the wrong questions. Well, ideally, what should happen is you do whatever you want. I'm going somewhere else. And then the child would understand, this is wrong. He cannot get what he wants by doing this thing repeatedly. And then there can be a corrective action. So Krishna has also done learning for us. But when we fail to understand, this is stardom. He says, okay, go to the material world. And they try to understand and they try to question. And what should be the question? Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Then that would be an intelligent question. But what we question here is how much long I will live, who is this, who is that. No, that should not be the question. Yesterday we saw how Shanak Muni was the right personality to ask question. because of his leadership, because of his knowledge, and because of his elderliness. And now Sud Goswami ji was the right person to speak. So now the questions are being asked, and he's asking a very intelligent question. He asks four things: when, why, which place, and what was the inspiration. So the question is, when was this science first spoken? Now, these Rishi Munis knew that there is Bhagavatam which was spoken. So he wanted to understand actually when was it spoken. Which place was it spoken? Because the place has a lot of significance. Like when you will go to the 18th chapter, you'll understand that this all happened at the banks of river Ganges. Why river Ganges? Because she's Amala and has the most purificatory powers. Even when we are doing Achman, we call all the rivers to purify the water, if you all remember. Gangecha Yamunecha Eva. So that shloka is something which we attach for purificatory processes. So if something good is being spoken, wherein you want your heart to be cleansed, that place is significant. Like we saw in the first canto, first chapter, why Nimisharanya? Because Nimisharanya is the center of the earth as per the Vedas, as per the literature. So which place? Why? Because that becomes the most important question. Asking why is very, very important. Why? Those who fail to understand and ask why, they try to continue in whatever situation they are in, and there is no change whatsoever which happens in their lives. So why is an important question? And Shodok Muni specifically asked it, why was this spoken? And then he also wanted to understand what was the inspiration for this Bhagavatam to actually happen. Because things happen. Things happen continuously. Many different things happen. But then what is the source of inspiration for those things to happen? That is something which also needs to be understood. And that is why that question, what was the inspiration? So Vyasdevji, in fact, had already explained the Vedas in various ways up to Mahābhārata for the understanding of the less intelligent, like women, Shudras, fallen members of the family of Brahmanas, the Dvijas. But Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is transcendental to all of them because it has got nothing to do with anything that is mundane. So practically what we understand is that an intelligent candidate places intelligent questions. Questions to the Guru Maharaj, the spiritual master. And why the questions are being asked? In order to clear the path of all uncertainties. Because if there is even little doubt about anything in our mind, and we just simply force it to be not considered, we don't know when in future it will blast out. So it's always good to have all the inquiries resolved. This is what the Shastras are telling us through this shloka. You have to keep on asking intelligent questions. And that too to a bona fide spiritual master. Why bona fide spiritual master? Because the Guru shows the way, not whimsically, but in accordance with the principles of the authorities who have actually traversed the path. So Srila Prabhupada always used to say, don't worry. You just do this sadhana. I'll myself personally come to take you back home, back to Godhead. He had full faith in his Acharya. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Maharaj. And so that is why at the ripe age, when ideally you should have gone to Vrindavan and retired, he traveled to USA with nothing. And there he created this revolution. And he actually gave the real science of Krishna to everyone. So the spiritual master shows the way. And he actually traverses that path. Many times, the names of the authorities are always disclosed in the scriptures. So we simply have to follow them under the direction of the spiritual master. And the spiritual master never deviates from the path of authorities. So what it indirectly means is that we should be acquiring knowledge from the authority. And who can be a better authority than Krishna himself? Krishna is the authority. He says that all of us, you, me, all the others who have come to join this fighting, it is not that they did not exist in the past. They existed. We existed in the past. We are existing now. And after so-called death or after quitting this body, we shall still exist. This was a very wonderful answer which Krishna gave and which actually explains the eternity, the concept of eternity. So that also explains that we are not this material body. We are the spirit soul. And we are always there, Shashwat. The only thing is that with the change of the body, we forget everything. While Krishna, since he does not have any material body, it never changes. And so he remembers everything. So the question ideally should be that I am eternal, then why I have been put into this temporary life? This is intelligent question. This is the actual problem. Srila Prabhupada, in his discussions, in his so many lectures he has been taking, he has gone on through this topic of intelligent questions so many times. Whether it be lectures on Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or anything. Krishna book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. When in Krishna book, in fact, it is mentioned, the question is, if it is possible for a devotee to get free from material contaminated stage simply by thinking of Krishna, then why not? That is the question. That should be the understanding. Parikshit Maharaj will see in further chapters in our studies that he puts up a number of intelligent questions before Shukdev Goswami. And Shukdev Goswami ji also answers them one by one. So what we are studying is basically a communication, a dialogue, which is happening between Sud Goswami ji and the rishis who have assembled in Naimisharanya. And in that dialogue, Sud Goswami ji is talking about a dialogue which happened between Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So intelligent questions, they are necessary. Once in a lecture in New York, Prabhupada ji said, those who are in Krishna consciousness, they are not entangled in sinful acts. How? They are also maintaining their body. So when they are maintaining their body, they have to commit sins. They have to eat. Never mind. So how they are not committing sins? This is the intelligent questions. This is what Prabhupada ji says. So whatever critical points, we should try to understand everything by intelligent question. It's not that you have to submit yourself blindly. Although the guru may be self-realized and experienced in absolute truth, still we have to question. That is allowed. It does not matter. If anyone is able to answer about the science of Krishna, he is the spiritual master. So questioning till we have full understanding is but obviously natural. According to Brahma-Vaivarta Puran, Shukdev Goswami ji was a liberated soul, even within the womb of his mother. Vyasdev knew that the child, after the birth, would not stay at home. Therefore, he impressed upon him the synopsis of Bhagavatam, so that the child could be made attached to transcendental activities of Lord. After his birth, Shukdev Goswami ji was still more educated in the subject of Bhagavatam by recitation of the actual poems. We see how by the mercy of Narad, Vasudev ji was able to narrate the epic of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And by the mercy of Vyasadeva, Shukdev Goswamiji was able to grasp the import. In fact, the transcendental qualities of the Lord are so attractive that Sri Shukdev Goswamiji became attached from being initially completely absorbed in impersonal Brahman and positively took up the personal activity of the Lord. In fact, in one of the lectures, it is said that practically he was thrown from the impersonal conception of the Absolute, thinking within himself that he had simply wasted so much time in devoting himself to impersonal feature of Supreme. So what it means is that he realized more transcendental bliss with the personal feature than the impersonal. And from that time, not only did he become very dear to the Vishnu Janas or the devotees of the Lord, but also they became very dear to him. In Sri Jiva Toshni commentary, it is mentioned that one of the most profound realizations of Śrīla Vyāsadeva was his experience of the superiority of Bhakti Ananda, the bliss derived from loving devotional service to Krishna over Brahmananda, the bliss of impersonal Brahman absorption. Sri Rupa Goswami confirmed this in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as well. There he writes, even if the happiness of Brahman realization is multiplied trillions of times, it cannot compare to even a drop from the ocean of the bliss of devotional service. Indeed, this is an inevitable experience of devotional service that it completely belittles and derides the happiness of Brahman realization. Now, a father naturally would like to give the best thing to his son. So Vyāsadevji therefore taught Bhagavatam to Shukdev Goswamiji. But being the son was not his only qualification. His qualification was that he was fixed on the path of renunciation. And so he had no material desires whatsoever. Nivritti niratham. No material desires means he had no ulterior motive to misconstrue the meaning of Bhagavatam and thus use it for material gain. Sri Vyāsadevji did not consider any of his other disciples qualified like Shukdev. And so Vyāsadevji thus has set a standard for students and speakers of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. As mentioned in the purport to this particular shloka, Shukdev Goswamiji was a liberated soul and he remained always a liberated soul. And he was alert not to be trapped by illusory energy. Always engaged in progressive path of spiritual attachment and attainment. So that is the difference between conditioned soul. Because conditioned soul cannot imagine the actual engagements of liberated soul. Conditioned soul is absorbed in matter, whereas liberated soul is completely indifferent to matter. What matters to them only is Krishna matter. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.